You want the blunt version? Asterisk, asterisk. Sexual attraction is political. Asterisk, asterisk. Not in speeches or ballots, but in the bedroom, where status becomes skin and the body keeps score. When she earns more, the myths of masculinity begin to rattle like loose bones. And if the relationship rests on those bones, it will shake hard. No, this isn't a manifesto against men. It's an X-ray of a script you were drafted into before you could read. He must provide. She must admire. He hunts. She nurtures. He times desires asterisk. She times deserves asterisk. Then she out-earns him, outpaces him, and the invisible contract shreds. What happens to arousal when the compass of power spins? Control hunts for a new grip. Sometimes it grabs the wallet, sometimes the bed, sometimes your mind. We'll dissect the asterisk asterisk periodic table of manipulation, asterisk asterisk, as it mutates under income disparity, gaslighting that reframes her success as coldness, isolation that narrows her world to protect his pride, asterisk asterisk intermittent reinforcement, asterisk asterisk, that turns sex into a slot machine of approval, the asterisk asterisk victim flip, asterisk asterisk, that makes her ambition the abuse, asterisk asterisk, public humiliation, asterisk asterisk, that rebrands her win as a joke, and the weaponization of intimacy, body, money, health, even spirituality, to restore a fragile hierarchy in the space where equality should be naked and effortless. You'll say, asterisk, but love should be stronger than paychecks. Asterisk, I agree. And yet desire is a social organ. It inhales culture and exhales behavior. When a woman's status rises, some men adapt, deepen, enlarge. Others retaliate. Subtly, they sand down her edges, ration praise, call her warmth work mode, bargain sexuality for submission. The result isn't always shouting. It's often asterisk asterisk polite control, asterisk asterisk, that curdles attraction on both sides. This book is for you, the one confused by the quiet frost in your bed. By the way, compliments have become negotiations. By the way, laughter has acquired a price. We'll do this through story and analysis. Not to condemn, but to asterisk asterisk expose asterisk asterisk the mechanics. Because the body can desire peace again once it understands the trap. Ready? Open the door. We're going to the room where money talks in whispers and desire learns new words or forgets how to speak at all. Asterisk asterisk Clara Duvall. Asterisk asterisk didn't fall in love with Nathan Hale's bank account. She fell for the way he listened, eyes steady, shoulders relaxed. The rare man who didn't treat her leadership role like a party trick. She was a product director in Paris with London flights every other week. He was a smart consultant, rebuilding his client list after a rough year. First date, fluent teasing, long walk by the canal, a kiss that felt like standing in warm rain. She thought, asterisk. Finally, someone who isn't scared of my light. Asterisk, your mind is dangerous, he murmured, smiling. I like it. Before the storm, attraction was oxygen, easy, mutual, everywhere. Mornings blurred into coffee and touch. Evenings vanished in quick dinners and unbuttoned laughter. They were peers, lovers, co-conspirators. She paid sometimes, he paid sometimes. No one kept score. Desire ran on asterisk asterisk play asterisk asterisk, not asterisk asterisk position asterisk asterisk. Then came the promotion. Regional lead. Bigger team, bigger numbers, bigger pay. Clara celebrated with a modest dinner, 2 glasses, 1 candle. A silly dance in the kitchen. Nathan raised a toast. Kissed her, said all the right words, but his jaw was tighter. In bed, he was tender and distant at once, like someone tasting a fruit and deciding it was too sweet to finish. The first hairline crack arrived as a joke. Is greater than Madame la Directrice, he teased, pausing on Time's directress. Time's just long enough to scratch. Is greater than. She laughed. The scratch lingered. Small shifts accumulated. He asked about her calendar with new precision. Asterisk. How late? With whom? Necessary? Asterisk. Sex tilted either urgent, to prove something unnamed, or withheld, with soft excuses. Asterisk. Tired. Not in the mood. Tomorrow. Asterisk. When she initiated, he sometimes smiled like a teacher indulging a student. The body keeps score, and hers began tallying confusion. One night, she offered to cover a weekend getaway. He waved it off. Is greater than, it's my treat. Is greater than. Then, lightly, is greater than, I'd feel ridiculous letting my girlfriend pay. Is greater than. Clara heard. Times ridiculous times. More loudly than Time's girlfriend asterisk. The bed cooled a degree. Desire thrives on freedom. Asterisk, asterisk. Status, anxiety. Asterisk, asterisk. Strangles it. Nathan's compliments learned to wear conditions. Asterisk, you're brilliant. When you switch off that boardroom tone. Asterisk. His touch became a thermostat. Warmer when she minimized. Cooler when she glowed. Attraction had learned a rule. Times make him bigger to be held. Asterisk. Clara adapted. Because lovers adapt. She softened her voice at home. Skipped a networking lunch. Deleted a humble brag text before sending it. Sex improved briefly after each concession. That's asterisk, asterisk, intermittent reinforcement. Asterisk, asterisk. The nervous system pairs surrender with pleasure until surrender feels like desire. She began asking the worst question. Asterisk. What version of me is lovable tonight? Asterisk. The first true alarm was silence. After Clara presented a major strategy and the client applauded, she came home electric, kissed him in the doorway, began recounting details. Nathan listened, nodded, kissed her forehead, and changed the subject. In bed, he turned away with a gentle, impenetrable back. Her body, once at ease, moved like a guest in its own house. Here is the psychology beneath the sheets. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Masculinity as role asterisk, asterisk. If being the provider anchors identity, her success becomes his identity threat. Threat lowers desire or demands dominance as proof. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Attribution shift. Asterisk, asterisk. Her warmth gets reinterpreted as performance. His distance gets reframed as discernment. Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Arousal politics. Asterisk, asterisk. When hierarchy replaces curiosity, sex becomes a referendum on rank, not a dance of equals. Clara wasn't asking for permission to shine. She was asking to be wanted times while time's shining. But want that depends on hierarchy is a flimsy roof. The drip began. Tiny jokes, rationed praise, a choreography of closeness and cool that rewrote the bedroom into a courtroom where her success sat on trial. Before the storm, they had been two bodies inventing a language. Now, the language narrowed to this. Asterisk. Asterisk. How small must I be to feel close again? Asterisk. Asterisk. Clara didn't have the answer yet. She only had the ache new, precise, humiliating to be desired as herself. This is our case study. In the chapters ahead, we will pry open every hinge. Asterisk, asterisk, gaslighting. Asterisk, asterisk, that brands confidence as coldness. Asterisk, asterisk, isolation. Asterisk, asterisk, posed as intimacy. Asterisk, asterisk, financial and sexual control. Asterisk, asterisk, that swap generosity for ownership. The asterisk, asterisk, victim flip, asterisk, asterisk, that recasts her ambition as abuse. And the asterisk, asterisk, public stage, asterisk, asterisk, where jokes become shackles, not to hate, but to understand, not to punish, but to name, because named patterns lose power, and named desires relearn how to burn clean. At first, Clara thought she was simply overthinking. That's how gaslighting begins, not with a shout, but with a shrug. Nathan had a way of speaking that made her question her memory. Is greater than, that's not what I said, is greater than, you're imagining things, is greater than, you're so emotional lately. Clara, are you sure you're okay? It always sounded calm, reasonable, concerned, and that's precisely what made it lethal. Gaslighting isn't just lying. It's asterisk, asterisk, rewriting reality. Asterisk, asterisk, until you can't tell where truth ends and madness begins. It's turning the light of your perception into a weapon against you. And Nathan was a master craftsman. It began with tiny distortions. Clara would recall a plan they'd made: a dinner, a trip, a conversation, and Nathan would insist she'd misunderstood. Is greater than, we never agreed on that. Is greater than, you must have dreamed it. When she showed evidence messages, calendar notes, he'd laugh gently. Is greater than, you're really keeping records now? Wow. You must not trust me at all. Suddenly, the problem wasn't Time's changing stories. It was Time's distrust. That's how gaslighting works. It makes asterisk, asterisk, your defense look like the offense. Asterisk, asterisk, you start to apologize for keeping proof, for needing clarity, for remembering differently. You start to think, maybe you Time's overreacting. And once doubt replaces certainty, control doesn't need to shout anymore, it simply whispers, and you obey. Soon, Nathan added another ingredient: guilt. When Clara came home late from a project review, he didn't scold her. He sighed. Is greater than, I just miss you. You're always busy now. She tried to explain the deadlines, the new role. He smiled faintly. Is greater than, I get it. Your job matters. More than we do sometimes. That sentence sat like acid in her chest. Guilt manipulation isn't anger. It's Time's grace used as leverage. Asterisk. He didn't need to forbid her from succeeding. He only had to make her feel asterisk, asterisk, selfish for enjoying it. Asterisk, asterisk. So she worked harder to compensate, texting him through meetings, skipping drinks with colleagues, proving she wasn't forgetting him. Each sacrifice brought temporary peace. Each piece deepened the chain. Over months, Nathan's narrative became the air they breathed. He was calm. She was chaotic. He was rational. She was emotional. He was misunderstood. She was reactive. When she pointed out his indifference, he'd smile. Is greater than, you've been so tense lately. Maybe work is getting to you. And suddenly, the issue wasn't his withdrawal. It was her Time's stress. Asterisk. When she asked for warmth, he'd kiss her forehead. Is greater than, you're adorable when you're needy. And the craving for connection became proof of Time's dependence. Clara began editing herself mid-sentence, preemptively removing anything that might sound accusatory. That's not conversation anymore. That's asterisk, asterisk, mental hostage negotiation. Asterisk, asterisk. Psychologically, gaslighting functions as asterisk, asterisk, cognitive corrosion. Asterisk, asterisk. The victim experiences Time's dissonance, Time's two conflicting versions of reality, theirs and the abuser's. Because the human brain is wired for social trust, it often defaults to the version that preserves the relationship, even if it sacrifices truth. Repeated long enough, this causes asterisk, asterisk, learned unreality, asterisk, asterisk, where the victim doubts not just the abuser, but their Time's perception. The line between I think and I know dissolves. Once that happens, Guilt becomes the leash that keeps them from walking away. Gaslighters rarely look monstrous. They look times reasonable. Asterisk, they speak softly. They use evidence selectively. They smile while they dismantle you. Nathan never yelled. He didn't have to. When Clara raised her voice, he'd whisper, "Is greater than listen to yourself. This is why I can't talk to you." Every outburst became a self-fulfilling prophecy. He remained calm. She looked unstable, and each time she tried to fight back, the narrative hardened. Asterisk. That's how control becomes invisible. From the outside, it looks like patience. From the inside, it feels like asterisk madness, dressed as serenity. Asterisk. One night, after another argument that somehow ended with her apologizing, Clara stood in the bathroom, staring at her reflection. Her eyes looked like someone else's. She whispered aloud, "Maybe I am crazy." That's the climax of gaslighting, when the abuser doesn't need to convince you anymore. Because asterisk, you do it yourself. Asterisk. She spent the next morning writing down everything that had happened, word for word. Later, reading it back, she realized how every sentence ended with her taking blame. It wasn't love anymore. It was asterisk, indoctrination in guilt. Asterisk, gaslighting and guilt form a feedback loop. 1. Asterisk, distortion, asterisk. He rewrites the event. 2. Asterisk, doubt, asterisk. She questions her perception. 3. Asterisk, dependence, asterisk. She relies on him to clarify reality. 4. Asterisk, guilt, asterisk. He rewards obedience with warmth and punishes dissent with disappointment. Repeat it long enough, and the victim's identity rewires around compliance. It's not that Clara forgot who she was, it's that remembering became dangerous. This is the asterisk second hidden benefit. Asterisk of not marrying too early. You learn to asterisk, recognize the quiet forms of control before they call themselves love. Asterisk. You learn that a calm voice can be crueler than a raised one. That guilt is not intimacy. That questioning your reality isn't humility, it's survival. When you've lived long enough to see the difference, you stop mistaking manipulation for depth. You stop apologizing for clarity. And most importantly, you stop loving anyone who needs you to be confused in order to feel powerful. There's a special kind of loneliness that doesn't come from being alone. It comes from being unseen times while someone watches you constantly. Asterisk. That's the paradox of emotional isolation. You're in a relationship, yet you vanish 1 inch at a time. Clara didn't notice when it began. Isolation never walks in, wearing chains. It arrives with time's care. Asterisk. At first, Nathan simply wanted more time together. Asterisk is greater than, "I just miss you" when you're always out. Is greater than, "Do we have to go to every company dinner?" Is greater than, "I feel like I'm sharing you with the whole world." That sounded loving, protective even. Who doesn't want a partner who cares? So Clara stayed home more often. She canceled a few gatherings. She skipped that casual brunch with her college friends, thinking, asterisk, it's just one time. Asterisk. That's how it starts, one canceled event at a time. One small concession that feels harmless until it becomes habit. Soon, every plan outside the relationship came with a subtle tension, a sigh, a question, a quiet punishment of silence. It was never a fight, just an atmosphere, one that said, asterisk, if you really loved me, you wouldn't need them. Asterisk, by month 9, Clara's social circle had quietly shrunk. Friends stopped inviting her out. Her parents said she seemed busy. Her phone went quiet, not because she'd been abandoned, but because she'd stopped answering. Nathan didn't forbid her contacts. he times outcompeted times them. Every time she made plans, he had a way of needing her dinner reservations. A bad day, a just stay home tonight, I miss you. And if she went anyway, is greater than, it's fine, I'll just eat alone. I pee is greater than Saeed softly, is greater than, with a wounded smile that made her feel like a traitor. That's the genius of the asterisk asterisk. Circle of isolation. Asterisk asterisk. It doesn't remove you from people. It makes you times remove yourself. Asterisk. You police your own freedom because it now feels like betrayal. Isolation is never just physical. It's times emotional geography. Asterisk. 1. Asterisk asterisk. Physical isolation. Asterisk asterisk. Fewer places, fewer people. 2. Asterisk asterisk. Informational isolation. Asterisk asterisk. Selective truths, controlled narratives. 3. Asterisk asterisk. Psychological isolation. Asterisk asterisk. Your emotions get filtered through the abuser's interpretation. Nathan didn't just limit Clara's time, he reinterpreted her relationships. Is greater than, you know Julie's jealous of you, right? Is greater than, your boss seems a little too interested, you should be careful. Is greater than, your mom means well, but she makes you doubt us. Soon, every person Clara loved came with a disclaimer. She started wondering if times he was right. Asterisk, that's when he'd reassure her. It's just us, babe. The world doesn't understand what we have, and she'd believe it. Because by then, he times was times her world. Abusers don't always say, times don't go out. Asterisk, they say, times, I worry about you. Asterisk, they don't say times stop talking to them. Asterisk, they say times they don't want the best for us. Asterisk, they don't say times you're mine. Asterisk, they say times you're my everything. Asterisk, the words are sweet. The result is suffocating. Clara used to thrive in crowds. Now she flinched at invitations. Every social interaction felt like an exam where she'd later have to defend her loyalty. The home, once warm, had become a asterisk asterisk panopticon asterisk asterisk, a surveillance tower made of affection and guilt. Even when Nathan wasn't around, his expectations were, her world had been resized to the dimensions of his comfort. One Friday evening, Clara looked at her phone. 12 unread messages from friends. Asterisk. Where are you? Asterisk asterisk. Are you okay? Asterisk asterisk. Miss you. Asterisk. She typed a reply, then deleted it, because she didn't know how to explain a loneliness that wore a loving man's voice. That's how emotional isolation traps you, not with violence, but with confusion. You can't call for help because you're not sure there's a crime. You tell yourself, asterisk, he just loves deeply. He just needs reassurance. He just wants time. Asterisk. Until one day, you wake up and realize, asterisk asterisk, you have no witnesses left. Asterisk asterisk. Social isolation amplifies control by cutting off asterisk asterisk mirrors of reality asterisk asterisk. Humans calibrate sanity through feedback. Friends who say that's not normal. Colleagues who affirm your version of events. Family who remind you who you were. Remove those, and the abuser's world becomes the only map. Isolation also heightens asterisk asterisk dependency asterisk asterisk. When love becomes your only social oxygen, losing it feels like suffocation. That's why victims stay, not because they're weak, but because the abuser has trained their nervous system to equate time's disconnection with death. Asterisk. Here's the cruel paradox. Isolation feels time safe. Asterisk. Nathan had made the world outside sound threatening, jealous friends, manipulative coworkers, judgmental family. Inside his arms, everything was predictable. Painful, yes, but familiar. Trauma bonds thrive on this loop. Fear relief. Fear relief. The body learns to crave the relief more than it fears the pain. That's not love. That's ***, chemical captivity. ***. Clara didn't notice the pattern until her mentor, a woman she admired, asked gently, "Is greater than, I haven't seen you in months. Are you happy?" She almost said yes, but the truth caught in her throat. Because happiness doesn't hide. That night, she opened her social media and saw a photo of her old friends laughing without her. The ache wasn't jealousy. It was *** recognition. ***. She had built a small, immaculate prison and called it intimacy. Isolation doesn't always look like exile. Sometimes it looks like *** exclusive love. ***. The kind that promises safety by cutting every other lifeline. But love that costs your world is not love. It's ownership. When you begin to shrink so that someone else feels larger, when silence feels easier than honesty, when you apologize for wanting connection beyond one person, you're not being loved. You're being erased. Clara didn't know it yet. But this was the second phase of her captivity. The ***, soft tyranny of belonging. ***, the stage where control stops looking like domination and starts looking like devotion. And somewhere deep inside, beneath the guilt and obedience, a small voice whispered, "Is greater than, if this is love, why does it feel so lonely?" Money. It doesn't just buy things, it buys time's permission ***. And when power trembles, control often hides in the currency of generosity. When Clara's paycheck surpassed Nathan's, something invisible shifted, not in their bank balance, but in their emotional ledger. Every dinner, every gift, every shared expense began to carry a weight, a time's price of belonging. ***. He never said, ***, don't earn more. ***, he didn't have to. He just made sure she felt ***, indebted for existing. ***, before, they split expenses casually. One paid rent, the other groceries. It was partnership, simple and fluid. But after Clara's promotion, Nathan's pride became fragile. Glass, beautiful, but breakable. So when she offered to cover something, he laughed lightly. "Is greater than, no need. I can still take care of my woman." 3 words that sound gallant until you notice the last 2. ***, my woman. ***, when she insisted, he joked, "is greater than, careful. You'll start wearing the pants at this rate." It was always just a joke, but jokes are social x-rays. They reveal what someone's too proud to say. Soon, generosity became Nathan's weapon of choice. He began insisting times on paying, on surprising her with small luxuries, a bracelet, dinners, weekend getaways. It looked like love. It was, in truth, ***, a ledger of emotional credit. ***, every gift came with an invisible invoice. Gratitude, obedience, emotional availability on demand is greater than, after everything I do for you. Can't you just relax tonight? Is greater than, I spend all my money on us, and you can't even say thank you? Is greater than, you think I'm controlling? Fine. Pay for everything yourself then. Control doesn't need to restrict spending. It just needs to redefine what you times owe. ***. Then, the financial control fused with sexual control. Power is never content to live in one room of the house, it wants the whole floor. When Nathan felt insecure about her income, intimacy became his arena of compensation. He'd flirt more aggressively after she downplayed her success. He'd withdraw affection when she came home radiant from work. Is greater than, you don't even look at me that way anymore. He'd whisper. Is greater than, you've got all your satisfaction from your job now, huh? Sex wasn't about connection anymore. It was about time's equilibrium. ***, when he felt small, He reached for her body not to love her, but to reclaim territory. And when she was the one who reached out, he withheld. To remind her, who set the rules of access, control isn't always cold. Sometimes it wears heat. Let's name this clearly. Economic abuse, isn't limited to taking your money. It's reshaping how you feel about deserving it. Nathan did it in 3 subtle steps. 1. Reframing success as selfishness. You're so focused on work, you forget us. 2. Creating a moral debt. I'm still trying, even though you've changed. 3. Using guilt as taxation. You could at least make me feel appreciated. By the time she noticed, Clara wasn't just earning money, she was time-spending guilt. One night, while reviewing her bank app, Clara noticed she'd been transferring more and more to shared expenses, utilities, travel, repairs, all while Nathan covered dinners or small visible gestures. The pattern was almost poetic. He spent times publicly She paid times quietly. That's how control maintains its image. He was still the provider in the eyes of friends, while she was the hidden financier of their life. In private, when she hinted at imbalance, he sighed, is greater than, why are you so obsessed with money? You sound like those cold career women now. There it was, the final twist. She wasn't times controlling times the finances. She was times accused times of being controlled by them. The manipulation didn't stop with cash. It seeped into values, the moral economy of the relationship is greater than, I just want a woman who believes in balance, not one obsessed with climbing ladders, is greater than, you've lost touch with your feminine side, everything's about achievement. Translation, your power emasculates me, so shrink yourself until I feel tall again. But Clara tried to balance it. She downplayed her role at work, exaggerated his. She turned her victories into jokes. The more she dimmed, the less he loved. Because control isn't nourished by gratitude, it's fed by insecurity. In psychoanalytic terms, Nathan was compensating for narcissistic injury, the deep shame triggered when his identity as the man was undermined by reality. Instead of confronting that shame, he displaced it onto Clara, transforming her success into proof of time's disloyalty. Economically, he built a dynamic where dependency was reversed. Yet denied she paid more. But he ruled the narrative of who provided. Sexually, he weaponized desire as validation, withholding or performing intimacy as a form of time's status correction. In every domain, the principle was the same. Reassert hierarchy by emotional taxation. Clara didn't see it yet, but she was paying the most expensive bill of all the cost of peace. Each argument she avoided was another installment. Each apology she didn't owe was another withdrawal from her self-worth. Each night she pretended not to notice the imbalance was another silent receipt she'd never submit. By now, she'd internalized the message, is greater than, you're free to succeed as long as you make it easy for me. That's not partnership. That's a contract of quiet servitude. When love becomes a transaction, every act of generosity feels like a purchase order. Every I love you sounds like a clause, and soon you're no longer in a relationship. You're in a subscription model, of affection, renewing monthly with your silence. Clara didn't yet realize it, but she was no longer choosing peace. She was renting permission to exist. And the price was going up. Love, when corrupted, becomes a stage play. One partner performs devotion, while the other performs power. And the cruelest act in that theater is public humiliation, when a private wound is displayed under bright lights for applause that never comes. Clara used to believe that humiliation was loud, shouting, insults, scenes. But Nathan taught her a different kind. The kind that smiles while it cuts. The kind that leaves you bleeding in a room full of laughter. It began at a dinner party. A few colleagues and friends gathered at their apartment. Wine and music filling the air. Clara, glowing with quiet pride, spoke about a recent project that had been picked up by a major client. The room buzzed until Nathan chuckled. Is greater than she's being modest. What she means is she times bullied, times her team into it. She's terrifying when she wants something. The guests laughed politely. Clara smiled too, because what else can you do when your own partner turns your achievements into a punchline? It wasn't the words, it was the tone, affectionate, teasing, but with just enough venom to make her shrink. That's the art of public humiliation. It hides inside time's humor. Later, when she tried to talk about it, he smirked. Is greater than, relax, babe. Everyone knows I'm joking. Don't be so sensitive. The crowd laughed. She learned the rule. If she wanted peace, she had to laugh too. Over time, the jokes multiplied. Her quirks became flaws. Her opinions became overreactions. Her independence became a source of mockery. At first, only around friends. Then, with colleagues. Then, casually, anywhere. Is greater than, Clara, she'd argue with a wall. Is greater than, she's got the soul of a lawyer and the patience of a grenade. Is greater than, she thinks too much. That's her problem. Every quip chipped away at her dignity, and every forced smile reinforced the act. That's how public humiliation works. It turns the victim into a co-conspirator in their own degradation. Because if you laugh, it looks like consent. And if you stay silent, it looks like guilt. So Clara did what most victims do. She joined the performance. But Nathan's jokes were not equal opportunity. If anyone teased him, even gently, he'd stiffen. Is greater than, wow, you really love undermining me in front of people, huh? His pride was sacred. Hers was currency. That's the asymmetry of power. He could turn her into material, but she couldn't even hold up a mirror. And so, every gathering became a tension field. Clara spoke less, smiled more, drank just enough to blur the edges of embarrassment. She became a time-supporting character, times in the story of her own life. When she finally confronted him, voice trembling, Nathan sighed. Is greater than, you need to learn to take a joke. I can't walk on eggshells around you. Is greater than, you're making me look like a bad guy when I'm just trying to have fun. Is greater than, this is why people think you're too intense. There it was, the inversion. He humiliated her, then framed her pain as humorlessness. He mocked her, then called her times fragile. Gaslighting and public shame are twins. One rewrites reality in private. The other rewrites your identity in public. Public humiliation functions as social conditioning, By making the victim's humiliation visible and normalized, it trains both them times and the audience times to accept imbalance as entertainment. It's a form of social dominance, signaling The abuser demonstrates power not through violence, but through time's permission. He shows the world that he can disrespect you and you'll still defend him. That's the real trick. He doesn't just dominate you. He recruits witnesses. After each event, Clara's silence became longer. She'd lie beside him at night, staring at the ceiling, replaying every word that made her laugh when she wanted to cry. He'd turn to her, half asleep, is greater than, you were amazing tonight, everyone loves you. And she'd whisper, thanks. Though the applause in her chest had gone silent, because humiliation doesn't just hurt, it rewires your sense of self-worth. You start confusing times, tolerance times, with times strength. Asterisk. You start believing that staying calm while someone mocks you is a sign of maturity. But silence isn't strength when it's forced. It's just obedience in a prettier dress. Soon, intimacy itself became another stage. Nathan's affection came with scripts. Is greater than, you're beautiful when you don't argue. Is greater than, see how peaceful we are when you just relax. Every act of compliance earned her brief warmth. A smile, a kiss, a touch. Every act of defiance froze the air. That's how humiliation evolves. It moves from public jokes to private moral lectures, until your every reaction becomes evidence against you. The audience may change, but the message remains. You are small, and I am the one who decides how small. Outside, the world played along. Friends still called them the perfect couple. People joked about Nathan's wit, his charm, his intelligence, and Clara nodded, because to expose him would mean admitting how long she'd protected him, how many times she'd smiled through the blade. That's the cruelty of social humiliation. It steals not only your pride, but your witnesses. It forces you to become both the victim and the publicist of your own pain. Shame is the most corrosive emotion because it isolates while pretending to connect. It makes you complicit in your own silencing. You want to protest, but you also want to belong, and belonging, in his world, means enduring. Humiliation rewires the nervous system to associate attention with danger, vulnerability with punishment, and visibility with risk. It teaches you to hide in plain sight. And for Nathan, that was the perfect equilibrium. A partner who still smiled in photos, but flinched at eye contact. This is the fifth hidden benefit of not marrying too early. You learn to recognize the performance of cruelty disguised as humor. You learn that charm can be a scalpel and laughter can be a cage. When you've lived long enough to see how mockery can masquerade as intimacy, you stop laughing when you're being cut. You stop letting anyone turn your pain into a public pastime. And you finally understand that love isn't the absence of conflict. It's the presence of time's respect. Because when a man loves you, he protects your dignity, even when you're not in the room. No prison holds tighter than the one whose doors sometimes open. That's the paradox of intermittent reinforcement. The psychological weapon that keeps people trapped, not by fear, but by time's hope. If gaslighting breaks your sense of reality and guilt drains your energy, intermittent reinforcement hijacks your brain's reward system. It makes you crave what destroys you. It makes you mistake relief for love. Nathan's cruelty never came in straight lines. It came in time's waves. After a week of coldness, distance, and subtle punishments, he'd suddenly return with flowers, a soft voice, and warmth that felt like sunlight after endless rain. Is greater than, I know I've been off lately, but it's just stress. Is greater than, you mean so much to me, Clara. I don't know what I'd do without you. He'd hold her face gently, say all the words she'd been starving to hear, and just like that, her nervous system reset. The pain of the past week blurred into the background. That's how the cycle sustains itself. Cruelty, confusion, then comfort, a punishment followed by a gift, abandonment followed by affection, until you stop chasing happiness and start chasing relief. In behavioral psychology, intermittent reinforcement is the same principle that keeps gamblers pulling slot machine levers. The reward doesn't come every time, only sometimes. Asterisk, and that sometimes is enough to keep you hooked. Your brain releases dopamine, not when you times receive times the reward, but when you times anticipate times it. So, every time Nathan went cold, Clara's body braced itself, times maybe this time he'll soften. And when he did, the relief was euphoric. That's not love. That's biochemical conditioning. A trauma bond. Disguised as passion. To an outsider, the relationship might have even looked fine. Nathan wasn't cruel times all the time. He could be funny, tender, attentive. They'd go out on weekends, share inside jokes, take photos that made them look perfect. Those good days were Clara's drug proof that the man she once loved still existed somewhere inside the stranger who hurt her. Is greater than C, she told herself. We just go through rough patches. Is greater than no one's perfect. Is greater than I know he loves me, he just doesn't know how to show it. But that's the trap. The better the highs, the harder the lows hit. Because love built on times contrast times is never stable. It's volatile, unpredictable, and deeply addictive. Nathan's affection always came as a reward for submission. After days of distance, the moment Clara apologized, even when she didn't know what, for he'd melt, is greater than, there's my girl, is greater than, see how good we are when you stop fighting me. And suddenly, the tension would dissolve. The house would feel warm again. They'd laugh, make dinner, curl up on the couch as if nothing had happened. The tenderness wasn't fake. It was times strategic. It trained her body to equate compliance with safety. Over time, Clara learned that calm only came after surrender. So she stopped resisting altogether. That's not peace. That's behavioral conditioning. Psychologically, intermittent reinforcement rewires the victim's nervous system in 3 steps. 1. Unpredictability. The abuser alternates cruelty with affection, creating anxiety and anticipation. 2. Relief. When affection finally returns, the victim experiences a surge of dopamine and oxytocin, the neurochemicals of bonding. 3. Dependency. The victim associates the abuser, not with the pain, but with the times temporary relief times from it. In short, the same person who hurts you becomes the only one who can make you feel better. That's not love, it's learned helplessness with lipstick. Nathan wasn't all bad, and that's what made him dangerous. He was kind to animals. He helped neighbors. He could be hilarious and gentle, even idealistic. Every positive moment became a form of times evidence, times Clara used to defend him to herself and others. Is greater than, if he were truly abusive, he wouldn't be so caring sometimes. Is greater than, he just has a temper, that's all. But abuse doesn't erase kindness. It times uses times it. The cruelty makes the tenderness more powerful, and the tenderness makes the cruelty more forgivable. That's how cognitive dissonance keeps victims loyal. They cling to the potential times of love rather than the reality of harm. Every time Clara thought of leaving, Nathan would sense it like an instinct. He'd suddenly transform, flooding her with sweetness. Is greater than, let's start over. Is greater than, I hate fighting with you. Is greater than, you're my person, Clara. And she'd melt. Because leaving him on a bad note felt impossible. But leaving him on a good times, one felt even worse. So she stayed. Every reconciliation reset the clock. Every apology erased her anger. Every temporary peace deepened the chain. Hope is powerful, but In the wrong hands, it's a leash. Clara's hope became pathological. She didn't stay because she was blind. She stayed because she saw times change. Every few weeks, every few months, tiny, fleeting moments when Nathan seemed sincere, vulnerable, even apologetic, is greater than he just needs love, is greater than he's getting better, is greater than I can fix this. But love cannot cure what feeds on power. And better isn't healing when it only lasts long enough to keep you from leaving. Every cycle ended the same way, with silence. After the good days, Nathan would gradually grow cold again. Dismissive, irritable, the laughter would fade, the tension would return, and Clara would begin guessing, again, what she'd done wrong. The more she gave, the more she lost. Her happiness depended entirely on his moods. Her peace became a times reward, times he could grant or revoke. That's not partnership. That's **** emotional feudalism. ****. This is the sixth hidden benefit of not marrying too early. You learn that **** consistency is the real measure of love. ****. Not passion, not apologies, not promises times consistency. When you've seen how dangerous hope can be in the wrong relationship, you stop confusing chaos with chemistry. You stop mistaking reconciliation for growth, and you learn that love that feels like an addiction isn't love, it's captivity. The right partner won't make you earn calm. They'll offer it freely. Abuse doesn't survive in isolation. It thrives in silence. Not only the silence of the victim, but the silence of everyone around them. The neighbors who don't want to get involved. The friends who say, I'm sure he means well. The family who insists, marriage is hard, you just need to compromise. The truth is, Clara was never completely alone. She was surrounded by people who refused to see, and in that blindness, society became Nathan's most loyal accomplice. After nearly 2 years together, Clara had become a shadow of her former self. The same woman who once commanded meetings now second-guessed herself over text messages. Her laughter came in half-breaths. Her confidence rationed to avoid conflict. When she began hinting to friends that things weren't good, their responses followed a script written by generations of cultural denial. Is greater than relationships take work. Is greater than all couples fight. Is greater than maybe he's just under pressure. Is greater than don't overthink you're too sensitive. That last one, times you're too sensitive, times cut deeper than anything Nathan had ever said. Because when society echoes your abuser's words, it turns doubt into doctrine. Clara's world was shaped by a culture that still whispers certain truths with shameful pride. A man who provides is strong. A woman who endures is noble. A couple who stays together, no matter how miserable, is mature. When Nathan mocked her publicly, friends laughed along. When he interrupted her, they called it playful banter. When he minimized her success, colleagues said, he's just joking. Don't make it awkward. No one noticed how these moments stitched together into a pattern, how every little thing became a strand of the same noose. Society doesn't need to approve abuse. It only needs to normalize it. Nathan's insecurity didn't form in a vacuum. It was sculpted by the same social structure that told men their worth equals dominance, that if a woman earns more, he's emasculated, that if she disagrees, she's disrespectful, that if she leaves, she's ungrateful. Men are not born controlling, they are trained to fear irrelevance. And when power becomes identity, equality feels like an attack. So Nathan fought not just Clara's independence, but a cultural ghost that haunted him. The terror of being unneeded. Society applauds strong men until strength means vulnerability. It celebrates successful women until success threatens male pride. And when those two collide, it tells both to work it out quietly. When Clara finally reached her breaking point, she sought help, therapy, legal advice, a hotline. Each encounter reflected another flaw in the system. The first therapist told her, is greater than, maybe you're both contributing to the dynamic. Try to see his perspective. A lawyer said, is greater than, emotional abuse is hard to prove. Do you have evidence? A friend suggested, is greater than, just leave if it's that bad. But trauma doesn't respond to logic. You can't just leave when you've been trained to feel responsible for the abuser's emotions, when you've been isolated, gaslit, and conditioned to equate guilt with love. Society demands visible bruises to believe in pain, and because Clara's wounds were invisible, she was invisible too. Nathan knew this. He was charming in public, warm, witty, intelligent. He held doors open, remembered birthdays, volunteered at charity events. To outsiders, he was the ideal partner. That's another cruel truth. Abusers oftentimes perform kindness times better than healthy people do. They know how to play the social game, how to look devoted, generous, calm. Because control isn't about chaos. It's about image. When Clara tried to tell people the truth, they looked puzzled. Is greater than, really? Nathan? He seems so nice. Is greater than, are you sure you're not exaggerating? And with each disbelief, she withdrew further. The abuse didn't have to isolate her anymore. Society did it for him. We still live in a world that measures a woman's worth by how well she keeps a relationship. If she leaves, she's labeled unstable, cold, uncommitted. If she stays, she's told she should have known better. Either way, she loses. Clara absorbed that message like poison. She didn't want to be seen as dramatic. She didn't want to fail. So she smiled through the fractures, polished the narrative, and posted photos captioned, *grateful, *. That's how social media turns real suffering into performance art pain, filtered into aesthetic resilience. Even in professional spaces, bias seeped through. When Nathan grew distant, Clara buried herself in work. Her colleagues noticed the change. Is greater than, she's become cold lately, one said. Is greater than, all that success must be going to her head, another joked. No one said the same when Nathan's temper flared, because when a man detaches, he's focused. When a woman detaches, she's cold. When a man asserts, he's confident. When a woman asserts, she's aggressive. The system doesn't just fail victims, it gaslights them. Abuse doesn't persist because victims are weak. It persists because bystanders are comfortable. Because empathy is expensive, it costs time, courage, and discomfort. And most people would rather times rationalize pain times than confront it. Is greater than, it's not my place. Is greater than, maybe it's just their dynamic. Is greater than, they seem fine now. Those sentences are the lullabies of complicity, the soothing rhythms that keep society asleep while victims drown quietly in plain sight. This is the seventh hidden benefit of not marrying too early. You begin to see not only times who times abuses, but times what enables it. You see how culture, tradition, and politeness can all conspire to protect the abuser. You see how patriarchy hides beneath compliments, how silence is not neutrality, it's participation, and you realize that emotional abuse is not just a private issue between two people. It's a social virus, one that survives by infecting institutions, language, and norms. When you understand that, you stop mistaking endurance for virtue. You stop apologizing for demanding respect, and you stop waiting for the world to believe you, because you finally, fully believe yourself. Leaving isn't the moment you walk out the door, it's the moment you see times the door. For Clara, that awakening didn't come as a sudden explosion. It came as a whisper, soft but persistent. This can't be love anymore. People imagine escape as dramatic bags packed, tears falling, slammed doors. But in truth, it begins long before that. It begins in silence. When you start remembering who you were times before. The fear. Asterisk. Awareness doesn't arrive as confidence. It arrives as confusion. You stop defending his anger. You start keeping small secrets, harmless things at first, like saving receipts or texting friends he doesn't like when he's not home. Then you begin noticing patterns you once ignored. Asterisk. How you feel lighter when he's away. Asterisk. How peace only exists when you're silent. Asterisk. How love now means walking on eggshells. The first act of rebellion is emotional clarity. It's not shouting or leaving, it's times naming times the truth. One night, Clara sat in bed rereading her own text messages, hundreds of apologies, hundreds of ways she'd tried to sound smaller, softer, safer. She whispered to herself, "Is greater than, I'm sorry for existing." And that's when she knew this was not love. It was submission disguised as devotion. Leaving someone like Nathan isn't just emotional. It's asterisk, asterisk, strategic, asterisk, asterisk. Because abusers don't let go of control. They tighten their grip when they sense it slipping. So Clara began preparing quietly. She contacted her old mentor, opened a new savings account, slowly rebuilt her connections. Each step felt like a betrayal, but it was really self-rescue disguised as treason. She stopped announcing her movements. She smiled more, spoke less, outwardly compliant, inwardly planning. That's the paradox of escape. Before freedom looks like flight, it looks like time's obedience. Asterisk. Is greater than, you're calmer lately, Nathan said one evening. Is greater than, I'm learning to listen better, she replied. He smiled, satisfied. He didn't know he was losing her to the very silence he once demanded. It happened on an ordinary morning. The air smelled of burnt toast. Nathan had left for work. Clara stood in their kitchen, looking at the coffee mug. He always used, the one that said, "Time's best partner ever." Asterisk. She didn't cry. She didn't rage. She simply, Time's left. A single suitcase. A quiet note. Is greater than, don't contact me. I need peace, not courage, not drama, just necessity. People think escape feels triumphant. It doesn't. It feels numb, like anesthesia before surgery. Because before healing comes, the incision. The first week was unbearable. The silence she had longed for felt suffocating. She kept checking her phone, half hoping for an apology, half dreading it. When he did, text asterisk, "We can fix this, please." Asterisk, her body trembled. Because trauma doesn't end with leaving. It ends with asterisk, asterisk, unlearning. Asterisk, asterisk. The addiction to chaos doesn't vanish overnight. There were days she almost went back, not out of love, out of habit. Because peace, after years of tension, feels like emptiness. But every time she felt the urge, she read the list she'd written for herself before leaving. Asterisk. He made me afraid to speak. Asterisk. He made me apologize for truth. Asterisk. He called cruelty love. Asterisk. I am not crazy. That list was her anchor, her daily antidote to amnesia. Freedom isn't just escape from someone. It's return to yourself. Clara began therapy. She reconnected with old friends, though her voice trembled when she spoke. For months, she couldn't make small talk, because after explaining your existence for years, normal conversation feels foreign. But healing is a slow architecture. At first, she cried every morning, then only some mornings. Eventually, she started laughing real laughter, the kind that doesn't require permission. She found joy in small defiance, eating what she wanted, wearing bright colors he'd called childish, walking home late without guilt. These were not trivial acts. They were asterisk, asterisk reclamation rituals. Asterisk, asterisk, everyday affirmations that her life now belonged entirely to her. Even free, Nathan's voice echoed in her mind. Is greater than, you're overreacting. Is greater than, you'll regret this. Is greater than, no one will love you like I did. That's the ghost of emotional abuse. It outlives the abuser. But each time his words returned, she countered them aloud. Is greater than, you're wrong. Is greater than, I survived you. Is greater than, someone else already does me. Healing isn't forgetting. It's learning to speak louder than the echo. When she filed for separation, the system reminded her how invisible her pain was. No police report, no bruises, just times, emotional instability, asterisk, asterisk, stress, asterisk, relationship difficulties, asterisk. That's the cruelty of bureaucracy. It only recognizes pain that can be photographed. So she stopped expecting validation from paperwork. She decided to be her own witness. Leaving isn't weakness. It's the most radical act of self-trust. To leave is to tell the universe, asterisk, I deserve to exist in peace, asterisk. Clara learned that survival doesn't mean never breaking, it means asterisk, asterisk, refusing to stay broken, asterisk, asterisk. Each day she didn't go back was a declaration of sovereignty. Each boundary she enforced was a small revolution. In time, the nightmares softened, the guilt faded, and one morning, she woke up and realized she hadn't thought of him in weeks. That's not forgetting. That's freedom. This is the 8th hidden benefit of not marrying too early. You learn that asterisk, asterisk, leaving is not failure, it's a skill. Asterisk, asterisk, you learn to read red flags before they become chains. You learn that love shouldn't require strategy. That silence is not peace. That calm built on fear is just quiet panic. And most importantly, you learn that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is not to fight for the relationship, but to asterisk, asterisk, fight for yourself. Asterisk, asterisk, freedom doesn't roar. It doesn't arrive with trumpets or applause. It comes quietly in the mornings when you open your eyes, and the first thing you feel is not fear. That's how rebirth begins. Not in grand gestures, but in the smallest of silences, the kind that once terrified you and now feels like home. Clara woke up one morning to sunlight spilling through sheer curtains. No footsteps in the hallway. No phone buzzing with anger disguised as concern. Just stillness. For a long moment, she didn't move. Because peace, after years of chaos, felt unfamiliar, almost suspicious. Her mind, conditioned to anticipate danger, whispered, is greater than, what did I forget? Is greater than, did I make someone angry? Is greater than, am I safe? And then it hit her. There was times, times left to fear. She broke down crying, not from sadness, but from the shock of peace. The body grieves, even when the mind rejoices. That's how deeply captivity embeds itself in the nervous system. Freedom hurts before it heals. Abuse had erased her reflexes. She didn't know what music she liked anymore, what food she actually craved, whether she preferred nights in or out. She had been living someone else's rhythm for so long that her own pulse sounded foreign. So she started from zero. She made a list titled asterisk, asterisk, things that are mine, asterisk, asterisk. It began simply, asterisk, my time, asterisk, my thoughts, asterisk, my laughter, asterisk, my body, asterisk, my name. Each item was a reclamation. Each act of self-discovery, no matter how small, was revolutionary. She danced alone in her apartment, burned the old perfume he used to compliment, took long walks without explaining where she was going. Rebirth isn't about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you were times before the conditioning. Asterisk, but healing isn't linear. There were days when memories struck without warning, like aftershocks. A scent, a tone of voice, a phrase from a coworker. Suddenly, she'd feel her chest tighten, her breath shorten. That's what trauma does. It teaches your body to remember what your mind wants to forget. It doesn't vanish when you leave, it lingers like smoke after a fire. In therapy, Clara learned a word for it. Asterisk, asterisk, hypervigilance. Asterisk, asterisk, the constant scanning for threat, even when none exists. The startle at kindness, the disbelief at safety, but slowly, through months of grounding, journaling, and compassionate repetition, her body began to learn what her mind already knew. She was no longer in danger. Healing meant convincing her nervous system that freedom was real. For a long time, Clara swore off relationships entirely. She told herself she didn't need anyone. And for a while, she didn't. She needed solitude like oxygen. But solitude isn't loneliness. It's detox. When she finally met someone new, she was terrified. He didn't raise his voice. He didn't test her patience. He didn't weaponize silence. He simply listened. And that scared her more than cruelty ever had, because calm felt unfamiliar. Abuse conditions you to equate love with intensity. So when peace finally arrives, it feels like emptiness. But real love isn't a storm. It's the absence of one. It's steady, patient, boring in the most beautiful way. One evening, as they cooked dinner together, he asked softly, "Is greater than, do you realize you always apologize before speaking?" She froze, then laughed, not defensively, but with recognition, because he was right. And for the first time, she corrected herself, not to appease someone, but to honor her healing. Freedom is physical. It's sleeping deeply, without flinching, at midnight noises. It's walking into your home without bracing for a mood. It's breathing without waiting for permission. She began exercising, not to fix her body, but to times inhabit it. She practiced yoga, cried through stretches, and whispered mantras under her breath. Is greater than, I am here. Is greater than, I survived. Is greater than, I belong to myself. Every movement was both mourning and celebration, the body remembering joy after years of servitude. As Clara rebuilt herself, she felt a new fire ignite. A quiet rage turned into mission. She started volunteering at a support group for survivors of emotional abuse. At first, she only listened. Then, one day, she spoke. Her voice trembled, but her words carried weight. Is greater than, the hardest part isn't leaving. It's believing you deserve to stay gone. As look can be won, the room went silent then. Women nodded, eyes glistening. In that moment, Clara understood that healing doesn't end with survival. It continues through witnessing when you help others see what you once couldn't. Because every survivor who speaks truth tears another hole in the fabric of silence that keeps abuse alive. People talk about closure as if pain has an expiration date, but some wounds don't close, they evolve. They become stories, warnings, wisdom. Clara didn't forgive Nathan. She didn't need to. Forgiveness isn't a moral duty. It's an option. What she achieved was detachment, the emotional distance where he no longer defined her, where his name felt irrelevant, where the only thing that mattered was the life ahead. Healing isn't about erasing the past. It's about outgrowing it. Years later, Clara would stand on that same bridge where she once felt trapped. The city lights flickered across the river like quiet applause. She placed her hand on the railing and whispered, not to Nathan, not to the past, but to herself, is greater than, you did it. And for the first time, she didn't mean times you survived. She meant times you're alive. This is the 9th hidden benefit of not marrying too early. You learn that your worth doesn't depend on being chosen. It depends on being times whole. You learn that independence isn't coldness. That solitude isn't loneliness. That rebirth isn't a return to innocence. It's the acceptance of scars as proof of wisdom. You stop looking for someone to complete you because you realize you were never incomplete. You were simply interrupted. And when you finally reclaim your story, you become what every survivor eventually becomes. Not a victim, not a warrior, but a mirror, reflecting hope for those still lost in the fog. Because healing in the end, is not about erasing the pain. It's about asterisk asterisk becoming the light that exposes it. Asterisk asterisk.